To come back to that question of, taking the working poor and then making them sort of more economically buoyant, more able to spend money because of national minimum wage, what did your argument deal with the question of mechanizing industries? So you look at mining, for example. It's an industry that has a big labor pool. It historically has relied on a lot of laborers, but by some predictions is going to become less and less dependent on human labor in order to extract resources, minerals.
Yes, in those circumstances, a minimum wage would have no effect in any case. Because if you're going to mechanize for competitive reasons, to compete, you're going to do it's the same in the agricultural sector. You're going to mechanize either way, no matter of the labor minimum wage. In those laborers who do stay in those sectors would in any case earn far above the minimum wage because they would be higher skilled workers operating machinery. The minimum wage in those sectors then would become less and less of a question.
Okay, because the bracket of laborers it would affect is probably
you'd have you lose unemployment despite the minimum wage if it's there or not because you're mechanizing. It doesn't affect that then. And those laborers in the sector still are earning already higher minimum wage. But on the other hand, the question is, will higher minimum wages encourage mechanization? It might, but my guess would be that to compete at an international level, many sectors are already going to start mechanizing. We need, that's what they spoke about at Davos, the fourth industrial revolution. It's going to happen. If you want to stay competitive at an international level, you'll have to find a different approach because we're going to see more capital intensive sectors, broadly speaking now. So we need to find new ways to redistribute or just make sure that the wealth doesn't, especially in capital intensive sectors, wealth tends to concentrate in the hands of a few while employment decreases and you sit with a large proportion of your population not working and unemployed and poor.
So I just want to come back to your essay because you've spoken at length, but in your essay you only get 2,000 words. How do you pack this all into, the Nedbank Old Mutual budget speech competition essay? You can't, I suppose.
That's the worst part. It's like having a debate on Twitter, like we said earlier. You need to really know your argument very well, and it's just giving the concise facts of your argument and basically summarizing it. Your essay is basically an abstract.
Okay, of what you've really thought through and
what you've really
more
thought through, and
detailed.
You can do a whole master's on a minimum wage, especially in the South African context, and then it would basically serve as an abstract, that kind of paper.
Gosh. So, in simple terms, is the national minimum wage a political tool, or is it a tool for political sort of gaining political sort of sympathy from the working class, or is it a tool for growth in the business sector?
Let's put it this way. It's first and foremost a redistribution tool. Redistribution is, from an economic standpoint, countries of high inequality struggle to grow at high levels sustainably. Inequality and growth are linked. They're inherently intertwined. That's a study 2014 by the International Monetary Fund. So first of all, it's an economic tool. We can't grow if inequality keeps rising. You'll see more and more social unrest. But then it's also very closely linked to the political, because social unrest and you're moving into the political sphere. So it's economic and a political.
So that's a false dichotomy.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any theories on why the Minister of Finance didn't propose a national minimum wage across the board in his budget speech?
I think, especially now with the timing, again, we've got a very fragile economic environment at the moment. But also, I think discussions are still going on. The government has sent out tenders. You want to, before you implement something like a national minimum wage or start putting out formal legislation on it, you want to know what you're talking about.
Sure. Well, that's something you certainly seem to have, hit the mark on.